minutes over. Take away, Yash. You're on mute.
Hey, thanks, Shantanu. Am I audible? Is my screen visible?
Yes,
Probably.
platformizing DevOps with the HashiCorp stack.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks. Welcome everyone to HashiCorp's HashiTalks India 2021. I'll be talking about platformizing DevOps with the HashiCorp stack and how we have implemented DevOps and how we have used the HashiCorp stack at Setu. So first, to start with, a little about me. I have been building stuff around DevOps and platforms for the last 5 years, and currently I'm taking care of DevOps at Setu. I am mostly developing and designing reliable, secure, and high availability architectures on the cloud, mostly on AWS, but also on GCP. I help teams develop and mature in the DevOps culture, and I absolutely love participating in discussions around architectures and distributed systems. These are my LinkedIn, GitHub, and Twitter handles. If you have to contact me, you can contact me here. If you have questions post this conference, post this talk, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to have a conversation. Some about Setu, about my company. Setu, we are a API banking infrastructure for India's financially excluded millions. Our mission is to accelerate India's GDP growth by making digital financial services affordable and accessible to everyone. And we are an API company. All our products are APIs which are used by banking and NBFC partners as well as small and medium businesses to serve financial products to their customers. So let's begin with DevOps. So DevOps is like an elephant in a room, and it has a definition, but the implementations are very different and vary across organizations, across companies, and even within organizations among teams. So, but traditionally, mostly DevOps is followed very vaguely by having an army of DevOps engineers, quote unquote, and who are responsible primarily for serving operational requests like writing configuration scripts to generate deployable artifacts like Docker files, YAML files for provisioning infrastructure. They also get tickets for doing production deployments and resolve day-to-day errors in CI/CD pipelines, and also performing manual scaling of infrastructure. And in case it is not manual scaling, it's automated. Still, the DevOps engineers, so to say, have to take care of scaling while the developers do not get involved with it. And to perform all these above operational requests and operational tasks, they use a set of tools and platforms. And there are plethora of tools. As we know, you can open the landscape, CNCF landscape. We can have a look at a lot of tools which enable us to do this. How do we look at DevOps at Setu? We look at it as an engineering culture. We have a very tiny DevOps team, and we have distributed ownership of infrastructure, which means the DevOps team does not own the infrastructure, where the product teams, the product development teams own their infrastructure themselves. They develop, they maintain, they monitor everything. And the DevOps team get minimal overhead of operations. And the primary task of the DevOps team remains to release self-serve platforms for development teams to use day to day and do all their DevOps tasks, like servicing infrastructure or creating pipelines, releasing their products to their users and stuff. This also helps us grow horizontally faster by building up on the standardized platform that we create. So with this, we have a minimal involvement in DevOps, in dev teams' daily code operations, but still we are available for support to the developer teams for infrastructure provisioning, CI/CD pipelines, monitoring, incidents, deployments, and information security, of course. So these are the tasks which are all taken care by the dev teams at Setu and not the DevOps team. We are only involved in creating self-serve platforms which are used for these purposes. And then, of course, a very important part of our platform is the feedback loops. All the feedback that we receive from various, be it the users, be it the customers, be it our partners who integrate with us, and be it our own users, the tools, the products that we create as a DevOps team, which is the platform. The so the users are the developers. So all the feedback that we get, we incorporate, and we take care of all the feedbacks very seriously. So yeah, feedback loop is a very important part of our culture. So a short story as a prelude to what I'm going to talk about in this talk. In April 2020, last year, so we are a fintech-based startup. We started out in 2019, and in March 2020, we launched the first product. So last year in April 2020, we had one live product which had 3 microservices, and it was receiving a few thousand API requests per month. And we were processing a few GBs of data in logs, metrics, and stuff. And we had a team of total 5 engineers and one DevOps engineer. In June 2021, we have 5 live products now across spread over 30 microservices, and we process tens of millions of API requests per month, and over 50 TBs of data processing happens per month. The team of engineers have grown to 7 teams, and we have over 30 engineers. But a DevOps engineer we still had one in June 2021. So this is the story we are going to look at in our talk today, and our journey from April 2020 to 2021, and how the HashiCorp stack has helped us achieve this. So back in April 2020, we had 3 microservices deployed on AWS, and the containerization platform that we used was Elastic Beanstalk. It was a very easy for us to start at that point of time, and helped us bootstrap our initial deployment. We wrote the entire Terraform, even though we were just starting, and we had a very small team. We coded the entire infrastructure using Terraform, and our AMI is built with Packer. The development teams were responsible for application deployments, and the DevOps team took care of the infrastructure changes, releases, and the peripherals involved with the infrastructure. Automated deployments happened using scripts and not CD, and we had one DevOps engineer. And then came May 2020 when we launched our second product. We wrote new infrastructure and deployment scripts from scratch. And then by the time June came, we had plans to launch 5 more new products very soon. And we had teams working in parallel to release those 5 products. And we faced a lot of challenges with the way we went about releases. So we decided to rethink and reboot the way we do DevOps and platform at Setu. So the problems that we faced, we noted them down to start building the solution for that. We had deployments involving downtimes, change management, and patches were challenging, and we lacked standardization. Because of that, multiple changes have to be propagated into multiple products in different ways, because it was not standardized, and it created a lot of havoc at that time. Of course, writing new infrastructure for every product that had to be deployed was very boring and time consuming, and DevOps does not like boring stuff at all. Multiple regulatory and compliance audits we had to go through. Because we are a fintech company, we had to abide by a lot of audit and compliance regulations from RBI as well as NPCI. We have banking partners and NBFC partners, so we have to go through very thorough regulatory and compliance audits throughout the year. So whenever we used to do that, it involved API security testing and the full VAPT of the infrastructure, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. So what happened was, to deploy a new environment, we never did any compliance or any testing on the already existing infrastructure. We provisioned fresh infrastructure for that. It used to take us half a day, quarter to a day to provision those, and then it would take time to deploy and for the auditors to do the auditing and testing, and then to incorporate the changes that they would suggest. It would take us time to do that, because we had multiple different non-standardized infrastructures. This, accompanied with the decentralized flow of architectural decisions, were challenging to standardize. Different teams took different decisions regarding their architectures, and there was no flow earlier when we started at that time for standardization. So it was very challenging for us. And then we had missing components for which we had to reiterate and rewrite stuff. So that was also a problem that we faced. And then was born the DevOps platform. So we standardized the DevOps platform, which had to be used across Setu. It was a self-serve, low-code infrastructure as code in Terraform. And I write low code with immense pain because it is actually a no-code platform. However, we facilitate extensibility. That is why, so that the developers can write additional infrastructure as code if they want, and if they want to do any customization over the already existing code. That is why I've written low. Otherwise, it is a completely no code, and we do not have to. The developers team or anyone does not have to write any code in Terraform to provision infrastructure. Feature packed, Packer based AMI, which are compliant and secure and hardened. Canary based deployment facilitating CD. Centralized extensive observability and monitoring, and information security compliance, because again, we are almost a bank and we have to take care of stuff. The infrastructure platform, the infrastructure, it was a self-serve, again, with pain, low-code infrastructure as code using Terraform. It includes all the services that are mentioned here: VPC, auto-scaling groups, or application load balancer, network load balancer, Elastic container service, which is the container orchestration service we use to deploy, the relational database management service, DynamoDB, EC2, Lambda, API Gateway, WAF, CloudFront, EFS, site-to-site VPN, SQS, Amazon Message Queue service, which includes RabbitMQ and ActiveMQ, S3, Elasticache. Right now, our platform only supports Redis, not Memcache, CloudWatch, IAM, Athena, Glue, Elasticsearch, and others. It's a long list. These are the services which are there in our platform, which we have created using Terraform, and no developer ever has to write any code for either of these services mentioned here if they are using our existing platform. Built-in, they are free to build over that. They are free to customize over the existing platform, but they don't have to really write a new code if they have to provision an additional RDS instance for their application, or any of these services, of course. It has built-in alerting for PagerDuty and Slack, and well, anything which has a webhook, we have built-in alerting for that. Grafana dashboards for visualizations across data sources. Our platform adheres to the AWS well architected framework and CIS benchmarks as well. We have multiple times we have qualified and have been certified the ISO 27001 or 2017 compliance. I'm so sorry, this is 2013, not 17. We are also certified as Cloud Security Alliance Star Level 1, and we are compliant with all of RBI and PCI regulatory InfoSec compliances and guidelines, including RBI SAR, which is almost a GDPR like compliance rule regulation in India. Now, the AMIs that we use for EC2 instances in our ECS cluster are also part of our infrastructure platform. We use Packer to create those AMIs. That includes the Docker setup along with secure networking, setup of ECS init service, which includes the ECS agent, ECS POS container, to enable running ECS tasks on that. For host-based intrusion detection system, we have OSSec. For FIM, we have OS Query. For network intrusion detection system and prevention system, we have Snort along with Pullpog for rules management. Metric Beat, File Beat, and the Elastic logging plugin for Docker to ship logs and metrics. SSH hardening, antivirus with automated virus definition updates. So for all these stuff, the developers do not have to care about how they are shipping logs to the Logstash or Elasticsearch, how they are shipping metrics they have to take care of, but the OS metrics and stuff, they are already taken care of. The security is taken care of, and the AMIs are hardened using Packer. So how do the dev teams currently use the platform? So the platform is a Git repository, and the developers added as a submodule in their application code. and they can add custom code over it if they want, and then they use it to deploy, update, and destroy their applications. So when I say it is a no-code platform, it is really a no-code platform. You do not have to write any code in the SCL language or any other language. You just have to use variables, and that's it. You just write variables. The directives are also there. You just write the values of the variables in the file and just run init update, init apply, whatever. And the dev team also continuously keeps on contributing with features into the platform. So this is a very added on benefit at Setu that we have. So let us rethink, is this DevOps that we do? Is this what we call DevOps? Not really, not at all. It also includes very much about how architectural decisions trickle down into DevOps and get incorporated into the platform. So all the dev teams, they come up with their own architectures about tooling and processes, and they keep on proposing continuously to the architecture team, which is the team comprising of all the engineering leads at Setu. And they also continuously give feedbacks about the platform they have been using. So all those new stuff that has to be integrated, or new processes or new tooling that has to be integrated in the platform, or feedback for the platform, or things that we have to improve, keep on coming to the DevOps team from the architecture team as architectural decisions. And they keep on getting built up into the platform. And then these platform are again being used continuously, updated into the application code. So we earlier slide, we saw about how we went in May and June 2020. How about now? So right now our infrastructure is spread across 7 development teams across 5 live products, which serve tens of millions of API requests, process 50 TB of data per month, comprises over 30 microservices. And the containerization platform that we have used is the EC2 container service, which is a beast of a platform for containerized orchestration. It comes with service discovery, logging, monitoring, everything, auto scaling as well, of course. Then our infrastructure is written in Terraform. Our AMIs are built using Packer. Dev teams are responsible for application development, and this includes infrastructure deployments as well. So dev teams take care of everything. They own their stuff altogether, everything end to end. So we have to undergo at least 20 voluntary InfoSec compliance audits in a year, because again, we are a fintech company, and these are just the voluntary compliance audits that we have to go through in a year. And we have multiple compulsory and mandatory audits also, where whenever we have to partner with a bank on a product, or whenever we have to release a new big feature for an existing product, the banks and NBFC and our partners ask us to go through rigorous, complete end-to-end BAPT and compliance audits again. So we have to do that, and that is how it looks right now. And we still have one DevOps engineer as of June 2021 and one platform engineer. This is how our infrastructure looks like. We have, I'm so sorry if it is not visible, it is how it is. I could not fit a bigger image here. This is our AWS architecture. We have, so sorry. We have these services, we have VPCs, we have ECS clusters in private subnets, we have RDS, MQ, which is RabbitMQ or ActiveMQ, network load balancer, CloudWatch, Athena, Glue, site-to-site VPN, Elasticsearch service, Lambdas, API gateway, DynamoDB, S3, CloudFront, Bastion's ECR repository. We also have support built for using Quay repositories as well. And then we have everything encrypted at rest using AWS KMS. So this is our architecture, and the platform, the code that is there, it comprises of everything here. And all the services that are mentioned here, nobody ever has to write new code for it. They can build over the existing code for that particular service. They have to add any customization, but they don't really have to add new code for it. So what are the benefits of doing this? So standardization of platform and processes across organization brings stability to the platform, to the teams, and to the products that we release. Uh, provisions entire production infrastructure without writing a single line of code in just 20 minutes. So this entire infrastructure that you see on this screen right now can be provisioned in 20 minutes or less. I mean, sometimes RDS and RabbitMQ get stuck, but get stuck. They do not error out. They get stuck and take some more time during provisioning. So it takes just 20 minutes to deploy a completely new infrastructure. InfoSec audits take now 1 to 3 days, and the complete ownership of the entire thing end-to-end infrastructure relies and remains with the dev teams, which enables faster iterations and more reliable releases with lesser risk per release. And this is a huge benefit that we have got from standardization of the platform. And automated canary deployments based on CD enable us to release faster and more reliably. What is the future of this platform? So we are extending the platform around Kubernetes as well. And we have plans to make the platform cloud agnostic and to support bare metal infrastructure as well. Open source, well, we have plans to open source the platform, but right now we are too insecure to release because we haven't cleaned it up yet. Once we clean it up, we may think again. So we are hiring at Setu right now. We are looking for intelligent minds across the IT industry. So please hit at join.setu.co/apply if you want to look up opportunities at Setu, or write us to us at hello@setu.co. We'll be glad to have a call with you and have you at Setu, definitely. Now the time for questions. Do we have questions? Even if you do not have, you can ping me on Twitter, LinkedIn, anywhere later also.
So I'm going through YouTube chats. There don't seem to be any questions, though there seems to be DevOps against boring stuff as a trending hashtag. Somebody has put it there.
I am proud of those guys. Absolutely. Yes. DevOps against boring stuff.
So thanks for rushing.
Please,
We are 2 minutes under. So folks, anybody listening in, if there are any questions, please go ahead.
if anybody has questions later also, they can reach out to me on LinkedIn or Twitter. I am active on Twitter mostly, not on LinkedIn at all. If not, we are good to end this talk.
Amazing talk. Thank you.
Thanks, Shantanu.
So yeah, thank you. So with that, we will proceed to the next talk. Next talk is by, let me add him. Yeah, it's by Ravi.